first, before I get into the meat of this segment, first, I will need to remind everybody that, yes, we've got the election night stream coming up next Thursday. We'll be running that from 7 o'clock, I believe it is, and it's free to anybody who wants to tune in. But for the time being, we are running a discount code for the website, 0 seats. And if you use that, you'll get 50% off of your first 3 months when you sign up. Or if you're already signed up, you will upgrade to a gold subscription for half price. So remember to keep that in mind. And please tune in for the election night stream. It's going to be some really good fun, isn't it? It's going to be great. And we've got some really special guests coming in as well. Not to spoil anything.
Has Dr. Nima Parvini not trademarked the 0 seats thing? I bet you wish he had.
Too late.
I bet you wish he had.
Too late. Sorry, that's the market for you. You should have read your own book. You snooze, you lose, Nima. All right, so as we discovered at the end of the last segment, people just don't really care anymore if you call them racist. In fact, some people, Europeans in general, are starting to go like, okay, well, if you call me racist, okay, I mean, you're standing up for your people as you identify them, your group's rights. Well, if politics is just a group activity now where you split yourself down racial lines, whatever, okay, we'll do the same thing. This is why in Germany in particular you're getting things like the Ausländer Raus phenomenon, which has been popping up.
There's a word for that. Is it sectarianism?
Sectarian, tribalism, anything. And this is something that really doesn't actually come very naturally to us. It's kind of something that's been pushed on us for a long time following the Second World War, when we were starting to get this dribble of immigration come in. People were kind of going like, oh, okay, well, as long as they assimilate, I can accept it. And then they didn't. Well, and then you got more and more and more and more, and they have even less reason to assimilate.
The foundation stone of Boomer Truth is to work against your own interests, right?
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah. One of the cornerstones of it, anyway.
But the thing that I'm interested in now is that the meme magic is, of course, real. We all know this. Meme magic basically got Trump into office in 2016. Meme magic got Brexit through.
It's our daily bread here at lotus.com, isn't it?
Ausländer Rausch is a wonderful meme that spread across Germany, and the meme magic is spreading elsewhere, mainly through TikTok, of all things. You know, most people this time last year were complaining about TikTok, Chinese spyware. Now it's being used for stuff like this. And Kunli Drukpa, of course, one of the great journalists, cataloguers of culture of our time.
Probably the greatest journalist of our time.
Yeah. has been going through and finding things like this. Incredible things happening in France. TikTok's being flooded with right-wing content. Zuma has a response to those who call her racist. Me? Racist? Shit, okay. And it's going along with songs as well.
Qu'est-ce que vous voulez que je réponde? Je m'en fous.
Just... This is the classic meme energy. You say something based with some kind of Euro pop or EDM going on in the background. Zoomers respond very well to this. You put a little leaflet through a Zoomer's door saying, here's all the reason. No. You put a leaflet with a QR code. They scan the QR code and it brings them to some kind of Giga Chad dancing over the Empire Windrush or something like that. That's going to be what wins them over. You also get things like this as well. This is an interesting one where they've taken a new viral song. So they've done the same thing with the Ausländer Raus, where they've taken an old dance song from the 1990s. And this one's called Je partirai pas, which means I won't leave, yes, you will leave. And this particular video has 300,000 views on TikTok. Good riddance and don't come back. As you came, you will leave. And then... I won't play too much of it because I assume the song is copyright, but you can see where the energy is going. And there's a lot of this going around.
Well, she had brown eyes, though. So...
Oh, not a real A10 Aryan.
Yeah,
oh,
so she's, be careful. It might be a psyop.
But it seems to me that what's obviously happening is the most effective campaign is to get
attractive women to promote it.
Attractive young women to sing along with nationalist songs. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Just by the way, I love being French. I love my country being what it should be. There you go. And the media has been complaining about this.
It is really nice to see, though. It is really nice to see that the younger generation, it's there. Because, we've said for a while, I think I first heard it with Steve Turley, or maybe even before I even was aware of Steve Turley. But this idea that leftism... in sort of the 1960s and 70s and onwards, that was the counterculture. That was the thing to rebel against the sort of ultra conservatism of the World War II era generation, and that it really has flipped now.
Oh yeah.
To where right wing politics is the new avant garde. It's the new. It's
because you're not allowed. It's because you're not allowed. You've got a bunch of aging leftists going, oh no, that's racist, that's bad. You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to do that. And if you want to be rebellious and say, no, get effed, well, you've got to lean in.
Your parents and grandparents are sort of arch reds.
Maybe, yeah.
This is
crypto-communists. So you go, well, no, I reject all of that.
This is
it's
what
great. It's
happened
great. You'd love to see it.
In Germany when they said, okay, 16-year-olds can vote now, because they were just assuming...
AFD.
Yeah, because they just go, well, obviously... all teenagers and young people are automatically retarded, so leftist. Whereas
turns out some of them aren't.
And it turned out, no, actually, they all voted for, well, most of them voted for the AFD.
And the thing is, like, I don't know why they think this as well, because I remember being young, I was quite clever. I just didn't know anything. But it doesn't mean I'm stupid. And
I think it's partly, obviously, it's a big factor of the sort of rebelliousness that can, and the energy that can come with youth. But also, I think it's something more primal than that, which is that these young people are growing up in countries where they know from their parents and their grandparents that there was a time before now when things worked, when their country was for them, and they're growing up in a country that isn't just opening the floodgates to foreigners who hate them and actively say they're supporting that, and they're persecuting you for saying otherwise. So these people are growing up with much more of a consciousness of what's going on around them than even I did 20 years ago when I was like 8 years old and going through to my teenage years as well. You just didn't get any of that feeling because things hadn't declined quite as badly as they had now.
And it's in the Labour manifesto that they're going to reduce the voting age to 16. So hopefully they'll all vote for Nige in 29.
Well, hopefully.
But yeah, like again, the dynamic of the actual boomer generation, or the generation slightly younger than the true boomer generation, it was their experience growing up, or even at us when we were young, that the young people would be lefty, that you'd idolise, or you'd be interested in sort of the life of Che Guevara, for example. I literally had a Che Guevara poster on my bedroom wall. And I was like, yeah, I know, ridiculous, right? And to actually read, wait, what happened? What did he do? What was his life like? Oh, wait, maybe I'll take that down.
Yeah, maybe I'm not a fan of this guy. Actually.
But so they think, I think, that whole dynamic still exists, and it just doesn't. If anything, it's been flipped.
Yeah. And
so I hope they don't wake up to it.
It's kind of inconceivable that they would not think that the young people would not think, hang on a second, why would I want to be left wing? I mean, that means supporting all of the power structures that are making everything worse, and I think
and they hate me explicitly,
and they hate you, right? And it's not just that they hate you. And that's a big part of it. But it's also become evident that they're having their futures stolen from them, right? The current establishment is genuinely stealing their future and saying, no, you just won't have a country in the future. What you'll have is a multi-culti paradise that everyone will have a claim on. And you'll just be one voice among many. It's like, why the hell would I want that? How is that good for anyone? Why would they, I'm not going to get married and have kids in that, so good for them.
Yeah, and there's some funny lines from this article where they say some rhymes from this electro remix include, you will leave, as you came you will go, when Bardella, who I think is the head of the National Rally at the moment, who's also a Zoomer as far as I'm aware.
He's a bit older than a Zoomer. But...
well, still, close enough. When Bardella passes, you will return home. You will leave with your Fatma, finished in the RSA. The boat does not wait. You can pray all day and you're starting to annoy us. So pretty on the nose.
The frog began to hate.
And this is spreading across TikTok, which is interesting. And there was a news report from France where Drukpa himself makes a tiny little cameo. If I skip around here where they're saying, oh God, isn't it terrible? This song is so racist, it's evil, I can't believe they're supporting Bardella. here's a little shot of some of the accounts who are spreading this. And as it goes down, it's blurred them out. Wait a second. Who's that there?
There's our boy.
There he is. He's making the news. And then
most impactful journalist of the 21st century.
So impactful. I mean, it's even passing to our old boy Zamor. This is the song. This is on his official Twitter account.
I love the Zoomer Boomer handshake.
He just posted.
Like, you know what?
Yeah, and so far,
gotta get rid of him.
It seemed that a lot of this energy has been confined to the continent. A lot of it's been Germany, now France, probably other countries across the continent. And Britain has been quite slow in taking this up, but there is beginning to be a noticeable shift among the younger generations. Noticeably, this clip came out recently. And go on.
Sorry, just before we play this, right? So I saw a lot of people on the right really like hammering Aaron Bastani for these clips. And I don't know why at all, because he asked perfectly reasonable questions. He didn't misquote them. He didn't accuse them of anything.
He didn't interrupt them like Politics Joe do sometimes.
Exactly. And he presented their entire answers in context. So, like, I think Aaron did a perfectly good job of this. And actually, like we're about to see, this is a real eye-opener.
I still think on some Aaron's got some kind of like Anon account where I think he's got an Anon account where he follows a few people.
Well, there are lots of leftists who call him beefsteak.
Really?
Is the beefsteak Nazis?
Oh, God.
What's that?
Well, they're starting to disavow...
The communists who joined the Nazi party were called beefsteak Nazis.
All right.
Okay. Middle, right? So they're starting to see Mr. Fully Automated Luxury Communism.
They call him brown, yeah.
Oh, my God.
They say politics are brown because he's...
he's going to get his brown shirts on.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
The stomping boots.
But in Aaron's defense, he's a father, right? And he's looking around at the reality of what's going on and being like, okay, the ideology makes perfect sense. I'm a communist, but... look at reality. So anyway,
he was explicitly against like the poppy appeal, wasn't he? Do you remember that?
I mean, he's probably done a load of communist stuff I really disagree with. But people aren't static; they change.
But I will say also, these interviews are fair and well done. So I'll give him credit for that.
No,
but let's play a bit for those of you who haven't watched. It's 3 minutes long, so I'll try and just get some of the good stuff, and it's interesting towards the end as well. So,
England's England. And sometimes I don't even want to be here.
Why is that? Bad. Well, it's getting worse.
Too many bloody foreigners. You look around, there's a foreigner. No more England. Might as well name it something else. Hell.
Hell? Why hell?
There's too many foreigners.
Greg's in a gay flag.
There we go.
Hell is too many foreigners.
I didn't even see that flag.
What does that mean,
John? I love this as well. This is so interesting.
You have homeless English people not getting housed, but you have immigrants that come here. They're illegal and they get housed. It's a joke.
So just illegal? You're saying just illegal?
Illegal immigrants.
But legal? I'm talking. I just asked that. Just about legal migrants.
Yeah, but even if they're legal immigrants, they still shouldn't be put over English people. No. We spend too much tax money on immigrants, and I think that's a joke. And we should worry about our own people before others.
Do you think the political class generally are doing that then?
No. I think the Conservative Party is an absolute joke, and young people in this country don't have a voice, and it makes me sick.
And what? So if you could vote, lads, who would you vote for?
Who would I vote for?
Yeah.
Reform UK, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, can I just say as well, the most shocking thing for me is that in the middle of the street, in the middle of this interview, a clearly mixed race kid comes up and says all of this stuff. That was very, very surprising to me. But while the general tendency from what I've seen from the Meghan Markles seems to point one way, this guy obviously seems to have respect for potentially both sides of his heritage. So I respect that.
Well, the thing is, this is Aaron falls into this trap too. Well, he's mixed race heritage, therefore his skin is more brown than usual. Therefore, he can't consider himself English. But it's like, yeah, but his mum and dad are English. Like you inherit your lineage, your heritage through your lineage. So he is English whether he likes it or not. Regardless of the color of his skin, he has an English lineage. So it's just the way that works.
So you have these younger people saying that, oh yeah, well, I'm probably going to vote Reform if I'm going to be voting. And then towards the end, he starts speaking to some young girls as well, and asking them their opinion and what they've got to say
get
about
them on TikTok.
The matter. Yeah.
Shouldn't you be singing songs?
Oh, come on, load. Samson, what's going on?
It's Twitter.
Be patient. No, I'm a Zoomer. No, I can't.
Another rainbow in the background.
Yeah.
So where is this again? Is this?
This is in Clacton.
It is Clacton.
Oh, is it in Clacton again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
He's actually in Clacton. And that's the thing. Like, the rainbow flags in the background, like, good spot. You know, this woke stuff is everywhere. But it's not connecting with the people on the ground, obviously. The people on the ground are just like, there's too many foreigners. What are you doing?
Either way, these girls who might be in college or school or maybe in the first years of uni, they say that all of their friends around their age, they didn't care about politics, but with this election coming up...
Sorry, it's in Chichester.
Oh, Chichester, yeah. Their friends are starting to actually get interested and starting to get a bit more of a consciousness about this stuff, and they're all going to be voting reform. And he said, where are they getting these ideas from? What's swayed them to that side? And she just says, oh, yeah, they're getting it all on TikTok. And and it does really...
We need to get to Daisy to up Lotus Eater's TikTok game.
She does.
Yeah, she does. She does a great job.
Yeah.
But the media is starting to question, why is this happening? Why are young people not being shitlibs like they normally are? Why aren't they morons? What's going on? What's happened? And they say how reform seduced Gen Z. Their manifesto is like a wish list.
What? Hang on.
What do you mean they won't add on to taxes? They're planning on sending foreign criminals back? What's going on? How did they seduce them?
Sorry, so the essence of this complaint is that the Reform Manifesto sounds good.
Yeah.
These are good ideas that people would like. Oh, no, well, they've been seduced by the far right.
So this is interesting. So it says, according to the Telegraph analysis, data from 4 major pollsters suggests as many as 16% of 18 to 24-year-olds intend to vote reform next week. Now, this is second place because Labour is still massively in the lead with 47%. But it's stronger than Lib Dems, who are 14%. It's stronger than Conservatives, so I think went from like 13% to single-digit percent. And the polls aren't destiny, but it definitely shows that there is a shift, especially if you go down. I think they've got a graph in here of the change in voting intention of voters aged 18 to 24 since the start of the election campaign. And all of a sudden, just since the beginning of the campaign, the only other ones who've actually made any gains are the Lib Dems. Reform are the ones who've made all of the gains. And whether or not this translates in the election, it definitely shows a change in the mindset among certain subsection of the youth.
Do you remember it was a few months ago now, the actual Conservative Party sort of youth, the young Conservatives, it was just all folded.
They disbanded.
They just disbanded themselves, didn't they?
It's over.
And now some of those same people like our own Connor and some people in and around him have been calling for reform to make it sort of a youth chapter
and they should.
Or something. And no, absolutely should, yeah.
And again, we have to give it to social media campaigns done through TikTok seem to be getting a lot of traction, especially for Nigel in particular, because he just posts all sorts of wacky stuff on his TikTok. Well, it's Jack Anderton, but clearly he's got an excellent team behind him who know how to use the social media that they have access to. And David Atherton's been posting stuff. Like, he even just posts stuff like, people don't want you to drink and have a good time watching the Euros. You have a good time. You only live once, so why not just have a few beers with your mates and watch the football? Simple stuff like that comes across.
Good advice.
I mean, come on. Like, does Rishi say anything like that? Do you think that Keir Starmer has the ability to enjoy himself on a sunny day with a beer?
Yeah. Keir Starmer would be like, okay, well, we need to measure out the metrics and we need to make sure that it's cleared on the spreadsheet.
I need to present my 5-year plan, my 5-point plan for how we're going to be tackling the Euros this year.
How we're going to have fun on the Euros night. Okay.
Whereas Nigel, actually, for any faults he may have, it comes across like a human being.
Yeah.
You wouldn't catch Nige eating a hot dog with a knife and fork, would you?
There's a picture of Rishi Sunak the other day. He's got a pint in a pub, but it's full of water. It's like, why have you got a pint of water in a pub? You're not. That doesn't make you relatable. It makes you look weird.
And then again, what really attracts Zoomers?
Unlike the rest, I don't need a script. I've come out of retirement, back into politics with passion in my heart.
Speeches with banging tracks behind them. That's how you get the Zoomer attention.
Can we get some retro 16-bit graphics on it as well?
Oh, yeah. You've got to put some strange filter so that people watching it go, I'm cool. I'm cool. Oh, yeah. And then they do this one, which this is from the Young Reformers TikTok, where they just go...
we are saying that the Conservative Party has won.
it has spread so far, so wide. So congratulations, Nima. You should have copyrighted it. You should have put the patent in there before. And like you say, it's Jack Anderton, this guy, saying the brains behind the social media blitz is 23-year-old Jack Anderton, who's been working for Farage for a number of months. Social Media Wiz has also remarked that Rishi Sunak doesn't believe in our people, our history, or our culture, especially following the D-Day thing, and has claimed that Britain has millions of people living here who hate our country. He's argued that immigration is stealing the future of British youth. So exactly mirroring
exactly my
what
opinion
you said there.
I wonder if and when they'll come round to the policy of that a mass remigration needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, they can't be far off of that.
Oh,
yeah, right.
You know that these guys here, even these girls and these guys at the beginning of this video here, they want to say it.
Well, they're all but saying it.
They want to say it. Yeah, they're saying
there's too many foreigners here. The implication is they need to just go back to where they came from.
Yeah,
that's the implication in the statement itself. Why would you say it if that wasn't what you meant?
But yeah, that's all I really need to say on that, which is that as much as TikTok may annoy some people, it does actually have some useful propaganda and recruiting purposes. Who knew?
Hi folks, thanks for watching. If you'd like to support us, you can go to lotus.com for £5 a month and sign up and watch Bo's amazing Epoch series. Bo is, of course, a historian, and he does hours and hours and hours of long-form history content, such as this one on Captain James Cook. These are things he tends to cover subjects that are actually slightly outside of normal, popular histories. So you get to learn about things that are very interesting that you otherwise may well have missed.